ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणचक्षुश्रोत्रमथ बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं भाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। Page 261, passage number 6. तस्य क्वमूलं स्यात् अन्यत्र अभ्यः अद्भिः सौम्यशृङ्गेन तेजो मूलमन्विच्छ तेजसा सौम्यशृङ्गेन सन्मूलमन्विच्छ सन्मूलाः सौम्येमाः सर्वाः प्रजाः सदायतनाः सत्प्रतिष्ठाः यथानुफलसौम्य इमास्तिस्रो देवताः पुरुषं प्राप्य त्रिवृत्तिवृत् एकैका भवति तदुक्तं पुरस्तादेव भवति। अस्य सौम्यपुरुषस्य प्रयतः वाङ्मनसि सम्पद्यते मनः प्राणे प्राणस्तेजसि तेजः परस्यां देवतायाम्। तस्य क्वमूलं स्यात् annatra anyatra advya. Hey Somya, O good looking one, of this body, what else can be the Shungam? The body itself is a sprout. What cause can it be other than up or water? So it was shown how the body is a sprout of annam or earth. Then it is shown body is a sprout of the element water. Advis somya shungena tejo mulam anvicha. Of water also is shungam, is also a sprout. Hey Somya, you see that the teja, the element fire is the mulam, the cause of this element water. Tejasa somya shungena san mulam anvicha. Hey Somya, tejas, the element fire itself is mulam. That itself is a sprout, Shunga is also sprout, its moolam is Sat, existence or Brahmani is the very root, the cause also of the element fire. Meaning that everything ultimately resolves into the fundamental truth which is Sat or existence. So this is the idea here. How whichever way you proceed to investigate, so you proceed with the universe of names and forms, then you find that it reduces to Sat. With this body, you find that it reduces to Sat. Sanmulaha somya ima sarva prajaha. Hey Somya, O good one, ima sarva prajaha. All these living beings are sanmulaha. They have the root in Sat or existence. Sadayatanaha, they originate from Sat. Sadayatanaha, they also remain in Sat. Sat Pratishtaha, they merge back also into Sat or existence or Brahma. After this, they should have said how the three elements also get divided, subdivided when they approach this body. We said earlier, Yathana Purusomya Imastisya Devata Purusham Prapya Trivitrit Ekaika Bhavati. Hey Somya, how these three elements, fire, water and earth, when they reach this human body, how each one of them gets divided into three ways, threefold ways. Taduttam purastadeva bhavati. It has already been stated earlier. It could have been stated here, but has already been stated earlier. So that is the other way of reaching or arriving at Sat or existence as the cause or the root or essence or the truth of the entire universe. So theme here is that what is Sat, what is existence, what is Brahman. So whether you look at this universe of names and forms, when you inquire into that, you find that it is nothing but the manifestation of Sat. When you look at this individual self also, body, and deliberate upon that, you find that there is also the manifestation of Sat. And now is third method. So let us look at the Bhashya quickly. We have already gone through that, but on the same page 261, Bhashyakara says, Samarthyat tejasopi etadeva sharirākhyam shungam. The teacher carried out his exercise. In the case of annam, the food and of water, but did not carry out that exercise with reference to the element fire. Samarthyat. Therefore, by arthapatti, by presumption, samarthyat, on the force of the context, Tejasopi etadeva sharirakhyam shungam. This very body also is the sprout of the element Tejas or fire also. So that's why the Tikakara said, Nanu yatha dehasya anna shungatvena apshungatvena cha mulaka anumapakatvam evam tejas shungatvena api tat anumapakatvam kimiti shrutyah na uttam. Why is not said, Shruti said that Tejas also is, it leads to Brahman. Tasya bhutatre kayatva avisheshat, because this body is the product of all the three elements equally, not only of the earth and the water, but also of the element fire also. Meaning that whatever criterion or rule applies to water and earth also should apply to fire. So tadapi arthadhuttam samarthya or arthapatya. Understand that there also is said, by the way, by the Shruti, is said to be understood to be said. Bhutatre kayatva samarthya. Because the body is the product of all the three elements, and therefore the same rule applies to element fire also. Now again Bhashyakara repeats, Adbhi shungena tejo mulam gamyate tejasa shungena san mulam gamyate purvata. Why should that be said here? That from Adbhi shungena. So that water is the sprout and fire is the root, fire is the sprout and Sat is the root. So Tikakara says in line 30, Ataha apshungeni tatyasthani ataha tejasa shungena dehena tejaso mulam gamyate. Had Bhashyakara said this way, that so tejas shungena dehena, this body which is a sprout of the element fire. Tejasa mulam gamyate. Therefore, tejas, element fire is the mulam, is the root or the cause of this body. Tejasa shungena san mulam gamyate. Tejas itself is a sprout which leads to the root which is Sat. Purvata iti etavan matra pathvayadi asti tada sugamam. This is how it should properly have been there. Samarthyat tejas shungatvenapi mulanuapakatvam vakhyate yatra hetum vadan uktanavada purvakam uttaravakyam evam hiti. So Bhashyakara says, evam hi tejo bandhamayasya hetu deha shungasya vasaramana matrasya annadi paramparaya paramatha satyam. Evam hi uktaritya, by the method that has been stated so far, tejo bandhamayasya deha shungasya, the body which is shunga or sprout of the three elements, the fire, water and earth. Vacharambha matrasya, whatever is the effect is vacharambha. The material cause is satyam, is true, is real, and the effect is only in name. So vacharambhanam vikaro namadhyam. A pot is only in name, the clay is the truth about this. So what is brought? Vikara, a product, an effect. So in every case the effect is vacharambhanam, is a name only. Mritika, meaning whatever is the material cause, that is satyam, that is truth. So here in case of this body, the body also is shungam, is a sprout, is also a product. in that being product is Vacharambanam, is also in name only because Tri Rupani Ityeva Satyam. Earlier it was pointed out how only 3 colors or 3 elements alone are real. Therefore, Deha Shungasya Vacharamana Matrasya. The body is in name only, is mithya, is really an appearance. Annadi Paramparaya. That is the reason why the mithya can be reduced to Satyam. That Satyam also happens to be mithya, which can be reduced to further Satyam. So therefore, Annadi Paramparaya, by the succession of the 3 elements, the Annam, up, Teja, Paramartha Satyam, Sanmulam. With Teja, the element fire, reduces to Sat, or which is Paramartha Satyam. So each one of them is Satyam all right, but Vyavaharika Satyam. Meaning that the 3 elements are Satyam and real with reference to the body. It is not absolutely real. The element earth is real with reference to body, but unreal with reference to element water. Element water is real with reference to the earth, unreal with reference to fire. Fire is real with reference to water, unreal with reference to Sat. Sat is real with reference to fire, unreal with reference to what? No, because what is real? Real is that which stands on its own feet, which is self-existing. Mithya, unreal is that which exists on account of something else. The effect exists on account of the material cause. Therefore, even element fire also is an effect. The material cause being Sat for existence. But then, is Sat also an effect? No, Sat means to be. Existence. Therefore, to be is the nature of Sat or existence, the truth. Therefore, it is Satyam real. Paramadika Satyam, absolutely real. Others were only relatively real. This is absolutely real. Abhayam, fearless. Asantrasam, says taintless. Says Anandagiri, Vastutaha, na avidya sambandha tasyasti. Even ignorance also cannot touch Satyam. Therefore, ignorance also is not there. It is taintless. It is free from all impurities. Nirayasam. Nirayasam is free from ayasa, free from any pain, of the nature of ananda. Uva sambandha bhave samutkata nikhil dukkhatvena paramanandatvam tasya siddhyate. When there is fear, there is dukkha. When there is impurity, there is dukkha. When fear is not there, impurity is not there, there is no cause of dukkha or sorrow. Therefore, it is of the nature of Paramananda. Sanmul anvichedi utram gamayitva. Having shown the sun, that hey Somya, may Uddha see that Sat is the Moolam, is the absolute reality. Ashishishati, Pipasati, iti nama prasiddhi dvarena. So this person is called Ashishishati. He wants to eat, he is hungry. Pipasati. So when he is thirsty, he is called Pipasati. He is hungry, he is called Ashishishati. It is Nama Prasiddhi Dvarena. This human being or person is his name. Ashishishati, Vipasati, that's the name. Idanyat, yasmin prakarane, teodo bandhanam, purushena, upabhujyamananam. Tejo Bandhana of the three elements, the fire, water and earth, Purushena Upabhujyamana, when this human being consumes them, or Upayujyamana, when they get associated with this human body, each one of these three elements also gets divided further. Karyakana Sangatasya Deha Shungasya. The Deha, the body, which is proud, body of the nature of Karya Karana Sangata, an assembly of the Karya and the Karana, of the body, gross body and the subtle body. Swajati Asankaryena, without losing their identity, the three elements come, they get subdivided and they do their work without losing their identity. Upachaya karatvam, that is how they nourish the body. So even though the three elements are consumed, you consume food, you consume water, you consume ghee or clarified butter, so the three elements are consumed, they all go into the same stomach, but still they do their individual work. So food gets divided in a threefold way, and the grossest aspect or the grossest amsha, the ingredient of the food, gets rejected. The middle ingredient of the food becomes flesh, and this subtle ingredient of element food becomes mind. So it does its work independently, and that's how it nourishes the body. Water also independently functions. Its grossest ingredient becomes the urine and is rejected. The middle element of this water gets converted into blood and thus nourishes the body. The subtle element of this element water, subtle aspect of the ingredient becomes the prana, the vital air. And then you consume the element fire in the form of ghee, clarified butter, oil. There, the grossest aspect gets transformed into bones. The middle aspect gets transformed into the marrow. The subtle aspect gets transformed into speech. So, upachaya karatvam vaktavyam, that should have been stated here. Vaktavyam praptam. So, this is what appropriately should have been stated here. That the uktameva drashtavyam. So, teacher does not restate that because it is already stated. Therefore, in the proper sequence it should occur here, and therefore should be understood as stated here. Purvoktam vyapidishati. So therefore, teacher brings to again mind what has been stated earlier. So remember, I already told you that, so that applies here. Yatham khalu yena prakarena imaha tejo bannakhya tisro devataha purusham prapya. He Somya, just as these three devatas, the three elements, the earth, water and fire, purusham prapya, when they get consumed by the person, or they get associated with this human body, Trivurtvat eka bhavati, each element gets subdivided into three. Taduktam purastadeva bhavati. That has already been stated earlier. Where did you say that, sir? Annamashidam treda vidhiyate ityadi. So you have to say page number so and so, So here also it says Annamashidam treda vidhiyate. The food when consumed gets divided into threefold ways. Tatraiva uktam, remember there also it is stated. Annadinam ashitanam ye madhyamaha dhatavah. Bhashyakara says that of each element, the grossest ingredient gets rejected. Madhyamaha dhataha, the middling ingredient of each. Te Sept dharukam shariram upachinvanti uktam. It is the middle element or middle ingredient of food that becomes the flesh. Middle ingredient of water becomes blood. So Sept dharukam tvak asram mamsa medah majja asti shukrakhya sapta dhatavah. So how this food gets transformed into the seven sapta dhatavah, the seven ingredients of the body. So body is said to be made of seven ingredients. Tvak, the skin. Asruk, the blood. Mamsa, the flesh. Medaha, the fat. Majja, the marrow. Asti, the bone. Shukra, the semen. But you see, this does not operate all the three elements. Remember that when it comes to element fire, the gross aspect of fire becomes bone, so that is not rejected. So in case of fire, not only the middle aspect nourishes the body, even the gross aspect nourishes the body. Understood? Tikagara says, Madhyama dhataha iti upalakshanam tejasa sthula dhataha api asna shaira upachayakaratvat. Because of the element fire, the gross aspect becomes a bone, and that also nourishes the body. So Bhashyakara says, Mamsam bhavati, lohitam bhavati, majja bhavati, asti bhavati. Was stated earlier. That's how this middle element aspect of the food becomes flesh, of the water becomes blood, of the fire becomes majja or the marrow, and also asti, the bone. Ye tu anishtaha dhata. Of these three elements, what is the subtlest ingredient? Manah pranam vāsya pācam desya antakara sanghātam upachinvanti. So the middling aspect, they nourish the gross body, and the subtle aspect of each of the elements nourish the subtle body. So subtle aspect of the element earth, food, nourishes the mind. Subtle aspect of the element water nourishes the vital air. The subtle aspect of the element fire nourishes the speech. Iti doktam tanmano bhavati sat prana bhavati sa vak bhavati. In this manner, this was stated earlier. Go to Tika on the page 262, the line number 27. Evam swapni nam nirvachanena manodvara ashishishati pipasati nam nirvachanena dehadvara. So the Tikakara here reviews what has been stated. So first, Swapiti. Three names are given to this human being. Swapiti, Ashishisati, Pipasati. He is called Swapiti when he is sleeping. So then he said how this Jivatma Swapiti, Swam Apiti, he attains his own self. So deep sleep was brought to our attention to show how the Jivatma attains his own true nature. So Sat is the true nature of Jivatma, because in the deep sleep he attains Sat, which is his true nature. So Swapiti Nam Nirvachana Manodvara. Through the mind it was said how the Jivatma's true nature is Sat or existence or Brahma. Ashishitati pipasati nam nirvachanena. Then subsequently the teacher said, this person is called Ashishitati, pipasati, very hungry, very thirsty. By nam nirvachanena. By explaining etymologically, not really etymologically, but this is called nirukta, by nirukta method. Meaning explaining a word through the constituent letters of that word. Now nirvachanena dehadvara sadatmanam avabodhya. So when he gets hungry, when does he get hungry? When the water leaves the food. So the water is called ashanaya. What is called? What is eaten is leading. That's how hunger happens. When does he get thirsty? Udanyam. When the element fire leaves the water or dries up the water, then person gets thirsty. Iti dehadvara. So these are the phenomena taking place at the level of gross body. Sadatmanam avabodhya. How body the shungam sprouts and the water, the element earth and the water and the fire, they are the cause and they are the sprout, etc., leading to Sat or existence. Avabodhya. Now Vagadi Karana Dwara. The third method in which teacher shows how Sat or existence is the true nature. Vagadi Karana Dwara. Through the process of merger of the sense organs beginning from speech. So Vagadi Karana Dwara. How the Shruti will show how at the time of death these organs merge one into the other and how the whole personality ultimately merges into Sat or existence. So by merger also you can show what the ultimate cause is or ultimate basis is. That in which everything merges, but that which does not merge in anything, that is the irreducible substratum, irreducible reality. So now, by drawing our attention to a person who is dying, by describing the process of death, tallaya adharatvena, how the whole personality ultimately merges into Sat. Sat or existence is Adhara, the very basis of the merger of the entire personality. Tat udbhavasthanattvena cha. So not only Sat is the place of merger of everything, is also the place of origin of everything. It merges into Sat and again emerges from Sat. Sadatmanam bodhayitum. To animals, these are the ways of contemplating upon Sat. The Upanishad here provides us the methods of contemplation. How you can contemplate and see these facts in your mind as to how Sat or existence is the ultimate reality. So two methods are shown, the third method is being shown now. Sadatmanam bodhayitum, to make us see that Sat is the Atma, is the ultimate reality. Marana krama uchyate. The sequence of death is being said here. Upanishad also describes in detail how a person dies. This one describes briefly. Everywhere the purpose is different. Their purpose is different, here the purpose is different, but still, Soyamiti. So we are on page 263, Bhashyakara says, in the third line, O and he also said the same, Tejo Vannakara Mutade Shangadwara Sat Tattvam Nirupitam Idani Maranadvarenapi Tan Nirupayatam Arvate. So through three elements we arrive at Sat. Now through the process of death also, how one can arrive at Sat, that is the ultimate reality. Soyam Pranakarna Sanghatah Dehe Vishirne Dehantaram Jivadhishtitah Yena Kramena Purvadehat Prachyuto Gacchati Tadaha. Soyam Pranakarna Sanghatah. This Jivatma or Sanghata, you can say, the assembly of Prana, the vital air, and Karana, the organs. So this assembly of the vital air and the organs, Dehi Vishirne, when this body disintegrates, the body dies and disintegrates into its elements. Dehantaram Gacchati. This Pranakarana Sanghatah, this subtle body, made of prana, the vital air, and other organs, Dehantaram Gacchati, it proceeds to another embodiment. Jivadhisthitah. Not only the subtle body, Jivadhisthitah is presided over by this Jivatma. Manashasthani, Indriyani, Prakrutisthani Gacchati, Shariram Yadavapnoti, Yaccha Pyukra Matishvaraha, Gruhit Vaitani Sanyati, Vayur Gandhani Vashayat. So Lord Krishna said, this Jivatma, Manashasthani Indriyani, the sense organs of which mind the sixth, meaning the subtle body. Prakrutisthani, when a person is alive, each one of these components of subtle body is in its own locus. So eyes are in their own locus, ears are in their own locus, different faculties are in their own locuses. Karshati, he pulls, the Jivatma pulls all these different components of the subtle body from their locuses and departs from here. Yaccha Pyukramati Ishvaraha. When he departs from his body, then Jivatma takes with him the entire subtle body also. So not only subtle body transmigrates from one gross body to the other, but Jivadhisthitah, the subtle bodies presided over by Jivatma. Who is Jivatma? The consciousness reflected in the subtle body. Because it is the nature of subtle body to reflect consciousness wherever it is. Just as a pool of water reflects the sun, it is the nature of a reflecting medium to reflect any object, shining object. And so also it is the nature of the mind particularly. So this is subtle body but mainly mind to reflect the consciousness. So that reflected consciousness enlivens the subtle body. The subtle body made up of mind and prana, the vital air, and organs of perception, and organs of action, and antahkarana, inner organ, all of these are inert by nature, but they are all enlivened by the Jivatma, that's a reflected consciousness. In short, consciousness reflects enlivens the subtle body. How is it enlivened? Really speaking, subtle body and consciousness cannot have any physical contact. Just a space and part cannot have any contact. Because consciousness is extremely subtle, subtler than the subtlest. And the subtle body also is very gross compared to consciousness. Consciousness is Paramadika Satyam, is absolute reality. The subtle body is Vyavarika Satyam, it is only relatively real. Therefore, there cannot be any real contact between the two. And still, it is our experience that the subtle body is enlivened. That the life or sentiency that the subtle body demonstrates doesn't belong to itself. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. The mind is inert by nature, but acts as though it is a live entity, conscious entity. What imparts this consciousness to the mind? Only consciousness, Atma. How does it do? In some manner, the self or the subtle body comes in contact with the consciousness. Therefore, this is a prakriya. This is a model as to how a pool of water comes in contact with the sun. The sun is thousands of miles away and the water is here. There is no way that there can be a physical contact between the two. And still this water gets lighted up by sun. So how does the sun manage to light up this water? By the reflection. So how the reflected sun lights up the water? So that's the model. So even though there is no physical contact between sun and the water, how the sun lights up the water? Because it is the nature of water to reflect the sun. And so also, even though there is no physical contact between consciousness and the mind, the consciousness nevertheless enlivens the mind by as though being reflected in the mind. So this is Pratibimba, this is a model, reflection model. So thus, this Pranakarana Sanghata Jiva Adhisthita, the subtle body consisting of the vital air and all other organs, outer and inner organs, presided over by Jivatma, by the reflected consciousness. Dehantaram gacchati, proceeds to the next embodiment. How? Purva dehat prachyutah. When? Only when it is separated from the earlier body, not otherwise. So that is a dehe vishirne. When the prarabdha or the destiny is over. So what is it that maintains the association of the subtle body with the given gross body? It is the karmajam tadatmyam. Sahajam tadatmyam, bhrantijam tadatmyam, karmajam tadatmyam. The association that the consciousness has with the subtle body is sahajam, is just by the nature that the subtle body reflects consciousness. The association that the subtle body has with the given gross body is karmajam, is because of the destiny of prarabdha karma. And of course, the association that the ahankara has with consciousness sakshi is bhrantijam, is because of the ignorance or because of the superimposition. So, yena kramena gacchati. The subtle body departs from this gross body. So what's the krama? What is the sequence in which this departure takes place? So before this subtle body departs, there is a whole process of departure. So what is the sequence in which that departure takes place? Tad aha, that is what the teacher says to the student, the disciple. As the passage said here, asya purushasya prayatah va manasi sampadhyate manah prane pranas tejasi tejas pasyam devatayam iti. Of this person who is departing from here, first of all the speech gets merged into the mind gets merged into prana, the prana gets merged into element fire, tejas, and the element fire merges into sat or existence. So this krama or the sequence is now stated here. Says the Bhashyakara. Before this, you want to read the Tika on the page 20, on the line 22. Ataheva sushupto sat sampatti yukta maranebi puna sayeva uchyate. Sat sampatti, attainment of the state of sat or existence. So how in the deep sleep state the Jiva-Atma attains its state of sat or existence was stated with reference to deep sleep. Same thing is stated here, what's new? So Maranepi, even at the time of death also, ultimately the Jiva-Atma merges into sat or existence. Sa eva uchyate, same sat sampatti, attainment of this to sat or existence is stated again here. The Jiva-Atma attains to the state of existence or the nature of existence was stated with reference to deep sleep. And the same thing is being stated now with reference to the process of death. So what's new being stated? Iti punarukti shanka na karya. It seems that the Upanishad is repeating itself, which is not right. That shanka, the doubt, should not be raised here. Ukta prakarena bhedat, because there is a bheda. The process in which the merger takes place is different. In that sense, these two are different methods. Further, kincha, tatra pranasya vidyamanatvat. See, in the deep sleep state, even though the Jiva-Atma merges into existence, so they say, but prana also is very much there. In the deep sleep state also, the prana, the vital air, is very much alive. So it may be rather difficult to say whether Jiva is merged into prana or is merged into sat. A question can be there. Sat sampati na sputa. Then with deep sleep state, that Jiva-Atma merges into sat, it may not be very clear. Somebody says, wait a minute, prana also is there. Why don't you say that the Jiva is merged into prana? Yatu tasyati abhavat. But at the time of death, even prana also subsides. Therefore, there is no room for that doubt also. Sat sampattim spashtam vaktum. So without any kind of a doubt or a question, how Jiva attains its true nature of sat or existence is clearly stated here. Punarukti, arthavati. So even if you call it punarukti, then also is arthavati, it serves the purpose. In one way it is not punarukti because processes are different. But if we say it is punarukti because ultimately the same thing is stated, then also this does contribute something more than what was stated earlier. So Bhashyakara says, so Purvadeha Prachugat Tat Aha. What is Tat? Tat Aha ityatra Kramavad Gamanam Tat iti Uktam. Anvi said that Kramavad Gamanam, the Gamanam, the departure in a certain sequence is being meant here. Asya he soumya purushasya prayatah mriyamanasya vak manasi sampadhyate manasi upasamdhyate. Asya purushasya prayatah, of this person when he is departing from his body. Anybody, any Tom, Dick and Harry. What happens? Vak manasi sampadhyate. The organ of speech gets withdrawn into the mind. Manasi upasamdhyate. Sampadhyate means upasamdhyate. It gets withdrawn. Sampadhyate means this organ of speech attains this mind, but means that the speech gets withdrawn into the mind. So the Tikakara has something to say here. Vachaha manah prakritikatva bhavat tatra layo na yukta kayasya saupadane layane niyamadidyasankya. Says, wait a minute, how can this speech, how can it get merged into mind? The rule is that only effect merges into the material cause. So part can merge into clay because from the clay the pot is emerged. Therefore it merges back there. So rule is that the effect gets merged into material cause. But nobody says that the mind is the material cause of the organ of speech. It's not stated anywhere. So when speech is not emerged from the mind, how can it merge into mind? They have to say that vak manasi sampadhyate, that the speech merges into mind doesn't nayuktam, does not seem to be right. Idyasankya. So this doubt arises, therefore vachaha na saupena manasi layaha. We do not mean that the organ of speech as such merges into mind. No. Kintu swavyapara uparamena tasyaha anuvrttita matram tat sampatti. What is meant is that all activities of speech, they come to a cessation, leading only to the activity of the mind. That's all it is. So what is meant is, at the time of death, first of all, the speech is gone. He cannot speak. He can see you, I guess, He's alive, but he cannot reply. So first, the speech then becomes quiet. But the mind is still functioning. So, meaning that the activity of the speech, they come to a cessation, leaving only the activity of the mind. So, therefore it is not the speech that merges into mind, but activity of speech merges into activity of mind. Understand that. So, vak vritti is activity of speech and mano vritti, the activity of the mind. So, mano vrittita matram tat sampatti, mano anuvrittita matram. It only follows the activity of the mind, leaving the activity of the mind. That's what is meant. So, manasi sampadhyate, manasi upasamdhyate. So, the activity of the speech is withdrawn into the mind. वाग वृत्ति इत्यर्थः वाग व्यापारोपरम एवं लोक प्रसिद्धि क्या है. So Shruti says that also, and it can be verified by our experience also. So vag vyaparopama, the cessation of the activity of the speech is loka prasiddhi. That everybody knows this, and that is why the Shruti says that. So Vashyakara says, atha tada ahu jnatayah na vadati iti. Usually when the fellow is passing away, there are people around him, Usually. The relatives are there, they are watching him. Navadati. How? He does not speak. So that the activity of speech, has ceased to be there is also verifiable by the experience of the people. People say, Navadati. He doesn't speak. So they can see how the dead is slowly coming, वाग व्यापारस्यैव मनःपूर्वकत्व श्रवणात् तस्यैव तत्र उपसंहारः इति. So elsewhere it was saying how the activity of the speech is preceded by the activity of the mind. So first the thought occurs in the mind, and then this paravani, the consciousness, then pashyanti, then madhyama at the level of mind, and vaikhari at the level of the throat or the speech. So before this word is uttered, it is in the form of thought. Before that it is unmanifest. Before that it is consciousness. So consciousness to unmanifest, to the manifestation of mind, and then manifestation at the level of speech. So vag vyaparasyeva manah purvakatva shravanat. We know that the activity of speech is preceded by the activity of the mind. Therefore, tasyeva tatra upasamhara. Therefore, in the mind, the activity of the mind only, there is the withdrawal of the activity of speech. It is aha manah. Bhashyakara says manah purvako hi vag vyaparaha. He prasiddhi is well known that vag vyapara, the activity of speech is manah purvakaha. He is always preceded by the activity of the mind. So whenever a word is uttered, it is assumed that that word first occurs as a thought in the mind. And that thought again is a manifestation of the unmanifest. And so therefore, manah purvako hi vag vyaparaha. The activity of speech always is preceded by the activity of the mind. Yadvai manasa dhyayate tadvacha vadati iti shrutehe. Yadvi manasa dhyayati. What a person first meditates in the mind or thinks in the mind, tad vacha vadati, that the person speaks with the speech. So manasa dhyayati, whatever person first of all thinks in the mind, that is what he speaks through the speech. It is shrutehe. So everywhere they want shruti. So that's what the shruti says. Because we have no way of knowing this. See, those days the only source of knowledge was Vedas. Now we have science and all these developments are there, so perhaps you may have some other source of knowledge also with reference to all these activities, but those days only source of knowledge was Shruti. The Bhashyakara quotes Shruti in every case, or wherever it is possible. ननु मनसोपि करणत्वाद लय सति कथम तत्र वाक् संपत्ति आशंक्य उत्तर काले लयेपि कंचित कालम तस्य स्थिति अस्ति. मनसोपि करणत्वाद, the mind also is an organ, inner organ. The mind also merges ultimately at the time of death. Katham tatra vaak, then how do you say that the speech has merged into mind? Says uttar kala layepi. But the speech has ceased to be there and the mind continues to function for a period of time. Then mind also stops functioning. But there is a time when speech is not functioning and the mind is functioning. Therefore we say that the activity of the speech has merged into the activity of the mind. The Bhashyakara says, Vashi upasamhrutayam manasi manaha manana vyaparena kevalena vartate. So Vashi upasamhrutaya, when the activity of speech have come to a cessation, Manasi means what? Mana vyaparena kevalena vartate. Only the mind remains there through its activities. Therefore we say that the auspicious merge into mind. Then further, Manopi yada upasamhriyate tada manah prane sampannam bhavati sushupta kale iva tada parshvastha jnatayah na vijanati ityahuhu. Manopi yada upasamhriyate. When the mind also gets withdrawn, tada, then where does the mind get withdrawn? Tada prana sampannam bhavati. You accept that the mind or the activity of the mind gets withdrawn into the prana or the vital air. Because the prana, the breathing still continues even when the mind, when person unconscious. Mind is not functioning, unconscious. And still he is breathing. That means that the activity of the prana has been withdrawn into the activity, activity of mind is withdrawn into the activity of prana. Sushupta kale iva, as it happens in the deep sleep state, that the mind is merged, but the prana is functioning. Similarly, it happens at the time of death also. How do you say that? Tada parshvastha vinyatah ahu. Then the relatives who are surrounding him says, na vijanati, he does not comprehend, doesn't understand. So, doesn't reply, doesn't understand, means the mind is not functioning. Na vijanati jnanena vrittilaya ukta iti bhava. Na vijanati means his function of knowing has now ceased to be there. Then pranascha tada urdhashvasi swatmane upasamhrita bahyakarana samvarga vidyaya दर्शनात् हस्तपादादीन् विक्षिपन् मर्मस्थानानि निकृन्तन् अनः इव उत्सृजन् क्रमेण उपसंहृतः तेजसि सम्पद्यते तदा आहुः ज्ञातयः न चलते इति. Pranasya, now he is breathing. Tada urdhashvasi. Then prana, now we can, then urdhashvasi becomes very fast. And the prana is fast, emerging out, issuing out. Swatmani upasamrutta bhashyakarana. Who is prana? Prana is the one who has withdrawn into itself all external organs. So speech stands for all other organs and the mind. All of this has been withdrawn into the prana. So prana, which has withdrawn into itself all the other activities, upasamrita, swatmani, upasamrita bhashyakarana. Samvarga vidyayam darshanat. This was stated in this Samvarga Vidya, the meditation upon Samvarga. Says the Tika, Vang Manasidyatra Vachaha Grahanam Sarvakarana Upalakshanam. That the speech gets merged into mind means all the other organs also. All other organs of action and organs of perception also. Tatasya Manodvara Sarkarananam Prana Upasamhara. And through the mind then all the organs also merge into prana. Iti Swatmani. So what is Samvarga Vidya? That meditation on Samvarga. Samvarga is what? Swallowing into everything. Pranameva vagapyeti, pranam chakshu, pranam shotram, pranam manaheti, Samvarga Vidya vakye, vacha, karmendriya upalakshanat, chakshu shrotrabhyam cha, jnanendriya upalakshanat, sarva karanopasamhara siddhi. Pranameva vagapyeti. Pranameva vagapyeti. So vag, which case is this? Vagapyeti. Which case is that? Nominative. Vag pranamapyeti. The speech attains the mind, the prana. Pranam chakshuhu. Similarly, chakshu is what? Nominative. Chakshu pranamapyeti. The eyes also attain the prana. Pranam shotram pranapyeti. Shotra also gets withdrawn into prana. Pranam manaha, the mind also gets, they are all neuter. So nominative and accusative are both the same cases. Therefore, so pyeti, except pranam is accusative, there is no doubt about that. It is Samvarga Vidya Vakya. In the meditation of Samvarga, this was the Vakya. Vacha Karmendriya Upalakshanat. What case is Vacha? Instrumental. So Vacha means what? Through the speech. Karmendriya Upalakshanat. So by speech, Upalakshanam. The speech stands for all the organs of action. Chakshu Shrotrabhyam cha Jnanendriya Upalakshanat. And the Chakshu and Shrotra, they represent all the organs of perception. Sarvakarana Upasamhara Siddhi. Therefore, the withdrawal of all the organs of perception, all the organs of action, and all the mind was very clearly stated in the Samvarga Vidya. Therefore, we say that prana is the one who has withdrawn into itself all the organs of action, all the organs of perception, and also the mind. Samvarga Vidyam Darshana. Okay. How do you say prana also is getting withdrawn now? Next is withdrawal of prana. Prana Upasamhare Lingam Darshan Tat Kal Sthiti Maha. So prana is getting withdrawn. Then Lingam Darshan. What is the sign? What is the chinha? What is the mark? What do we find? Tat Kal Sthiti Maha. Bhashyakara described the state at that time, state of this person at that time. Hasta, the Bhashyakara says, Hastapadadin. Oh, we already read. Hastapadadin Vikshipan. So there is a spasm in the hands and the legs. Marmasthanani Nikruntan. He rent asunder all the vital places. So all the vital spaces are rent asunder. Anah iva utsrujan. What is anah? This is a tika. So says Marmasthan Nikruntanam nama Teshu Bandhana Rupena Vidyamanasya Pranasya Tato Vishleshan. See what keeps all these organs assembled as a body is prana. The hands, the legs, all of these is one assembly. There is something that keeps them all together. What is that factor? Sutra, prana. When the prana departs now, there is nothing to keep these fellows now together. Therefore we find that the hands, legs, all of these now, there are spasms, so that is now that prana is departing. Prana that was keeping them intact is now departing, and that is seen by the spasms occurring in the hands and the legs. Tasmat hastadi vikshepa bhavati. As the prana departs, so hastadi, hastapadadi vikshipan, creating spasms in the hands and the legs. Anaha iva utsujan. What is anaha? Anaha shakatam. So when a cart is going, how it makes sound, Similarly, this fellow starts making sound. The hic, So what do we call it? Hiccups. You can say hiccups. Like a cart is going. So this fellow is going like a cart. Hiccups are happening. So says Ana iva utsujan. So what is utsarjanam? Hikkadi shabdakaranam. So how the cart, where it is moving, how they like the hiccups are there. So this fellow is moving. So hiccup shows like a cart, he is also proceeding the prana. Hikkadi shabdakaranam prana. So in case of prana, it is making the sound of hiccup. Anasastu prasiddha shabda. In case of the cart, the sound is very well known. In the prana, the sound is the hiccups. That's what it is. Tatah lingat pranopasumahara anumiyate ityartha. So by that linga, by that evidence, we can see that prana also is getting withdrawn. Pranavattesya ananasya abhava prasiddha. So what happens when prana is withdrawn? Ananam, the breathing is no more there. So when the prana is withdrawn, the breathing also stops. So therefore, tat ahu jnatah na chalati iti. Then the people surrounding him says, na chalati, he does not move. When the prana is withdrawn, he does not move. Then says Bhashyakara further, Mruto naitiva vichikitsantaha deham alabhamanaha ushnam cha upalabhamanaha deha ushnaha jivate iti yada tadapi aushnalingam tejah upasamhriyate tada tat tejah parasyam devataya prasamyate. So this is nachalati, does not move. So is he alive or not? Mruto navayati vijikitsantaha. Now they are doubting, is he dead or no? Is he alive still? Deham alabhamanaha, they touch the body. Ushnam cha upalabhamanaha, they find that the body is still warm. So he is still alive. So warmth remains. Deha ushna jivadeti, the body is warm, therefore he is still alive. So now we see that prana has merged into tejaha, into warmth, the element fire. Mruto natna iti vayati jivati antram iti ahuhu. So jivati iti ahuhu iti padadva anushangen. That much must be added. So ushno jivati iti ahuhu. Atra. Okay. Then tada yatadapi aushnalingam. Then what happens? In course of time, even that aushnalingam, that warmth, which is a sign of the life of the body is alive. Teja upasamhriyate. Ultimately, even that warmth also is withdrawn. tada tat teja. Where is that teja gone? Where is that fire gone? Parasyam devatayam prashamyati. The fire also is put out. The body becomes cold, then the element fire also is withdrawn into Parasyam Devatayam, into the Parama Devata, the supreme deity, into Sat, into Paramatma. It is withdrawn into Paramatma. So how by this process also, how everything gets withdrawn into Sat or Paramatma. This is the third method of seeing how everything gets withdrawn into Sat or existence. Okay, we'll continue. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So tomorrow you will bring a Brahma Sutra book. There are few Brahma Sutras pertaining to this particular process that we discussed. So we will clear them before we proceed to the next passage. So what is Brahma Sutra? 4 to 1. The fourth chapter, second quarter. So 1 through 6 sutras are there. One Adhikaranam is there. So 4 to 1 to 6 we will, after this passage, we will look into that Brahma Sutra tomorrow. Okay. Chhandogya but lavan.
Mano buddhi hankar chittani naham nacha shrotra jihve nacha ghrana netre nacha vyoma bhumir natejo navayu chidananda rupah shivoham shivoham chidananda rupah shivoham shivoham. न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोशः न वा पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायु चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञः अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपः विभुर्व्याप्य सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तिर्न बन्धः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं 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 शिवोऽहम्